and I think by this time you would have come out of your trance for the next session. And I thank the organizers, especially my friends Prakash and Anand, who gave me this opportunity to be with you. I have sent out a lot of invitations for my friends in US, Middle East, and other Indian friends to watch this as a web live cast through Hoogly, and they are doing a great job. I have been seeing that live from the morning. It's a great show, so thank you very much for that. And I know how it is, and they have also given saying that if your connection is above 512 kbps, you would be. I even connected here, and it was perfectly working well, and there was no. So I think you would be able to enjoy. And some of you had tweeted me, some of you had SMSed me saying that, has your slot changed? There was a slight program delay in the program running, so that's the reason of the delay. I hope you are with me, all of you here and online. So we'll go into the session. And I actually thought this is a management conclave. I think we have had a mix of cultural, management, and other entertainment too. And today, this session, we are going to talk about social media. I think most of you have heard this term because it's the in thing today. I think everybody talks about social media. Everybody knows social media. But before that, whenever I ask somebody, do you know social media? They say, yes, you mean Facebook? You mean LinkedIn? You mean Twitter? Something like that. So let's go through the basics of social media. And I have been advising brands. So whenever I go to a customer or client or an individual or an enterprise, I get three kinds of people. One is the moment you say social media, they say, oh, who has all the time? We are busy people in the business, and who has all the time to update or talk to others online? Do you really think people talk online? We don't have time for that. So I categorize them. They are ignorant of social media, and hence they ignore it. And the second category, they say, yeah, I want to be there, jump into some of the tools, and maybe they are talking to 100,000 people, but they have one person in charge of that. That means they have a big target audience and they have limited resources, and they get into trouble. The third category is they jump in, they have the resources, but do all the wrong things and get very bad results, and then say, oh, social media, I don't think it's the future of business because we did this and we got very bad results. So these three categories. So what are the basics? What are the basics? So we have got to understand anything that comes in new, what are the underlying changes? So what are the underlying changes in business which has brought social media to the forefront? That's what we will see today in this session. Slides on. So I have put social media basics for personal and professional lives. See, for example, if for a moment you take out this word social media and read it as telephone for personal and professional lives, you will understand it immediately. We all use our telephones both for personal and for professional. There is no clash. In the same way, if you put email for personal and professional lives, you will understand it perfectly, because we use email for personal and professional lives. The same way, try to understand social media for personal and professional lives. I think it's taking a minute. On to a slide. Okay, we'll come to that. So, I was told that it's loaded already. You want me a copy of that? Hang on a minute. Okay, We'll come back to the slides. Let's carry on with the session. So when you talk about personal, professional lives, it's mostly integrated. Like I think we talk to somebody personally and then land up with professional side, and then sometimes the workspace that we are in, the profession that we do, we pick up, thank you, we pick up personal friends from there. I don't think anybody can say today that I keep my personal and professional lives apart. So I'll handle this slide. It's not showing here. No, I don't have it here. You are going to change? So I'll say the next slide. Okay, sure. Okay, now that we are in a social media session, I will not ask you to raise your hand for asking questions, and this is my Twitter ID at Bharat Krish, where you can tweet your questions and it will be answered. Even people who are watching online, whatever comment you want to make, whatever questions you have, you can just tweet it to Bharat Krish and it will get answered. Next. So I said there is no strict demarcation of the two, of the personal and professional lives. Most of the time we do. Some people say, oh, my company has blocked all Facebook page, Twitter page at workspace. But I always say, do you remember when telephone came, there used to be one telephone in a floor of the office, and then they will say no personal calls there. And then the same thing happened for other fax or whatever you had. So the same way, social media, those restrictive practices are not going to survive. Because when mobile came, everybody had a personal mobile which they talked. Nobody could do anything about it. And one more thing, if you have restrictive practices in your company, the people, the youngsters who have always grown with these things are not going to work in your company, are not going to be attracted by you. So it is always better that you have policies in place, guidelines in place, but not restrictive practices. Next slide. And people always ask me, okay, I am in social media tools, using that, I am online, but why will somebody be interested in what I do? Or why should I be interested in what others do? But I always give this example. Have you seen that most of us use two-wheelers and park our vehicle in the night, the next day morning pick up the two-wheeler and go? And incidentally, we might not have switched off the headlights, and you start with the headlight on and go. And within 100 meters, at least 5 to 10 people tell you your headlight is on. And the same way, you had put your side stand in your two-wheeler, and then you take it out and go. Somebody takes the pain to overtake, risk their life and stop you and say that your side stand is on. Why do they do that? At least side stand I can understand, it has a safety aspect. But headlights, let it be on. Why should anyone be bothered about it? It is not so. It's human nature that people tend to talk, people tend to contribute, people tend to advise, people tend to ask. So if you ask, why will anyone be interested in me, or will I be interested in others? The answer is a big yes. But the thing is, what are they interested? What are you interested? That is something which you have got to define. I always say, see, I still have not used those social media terminologies that you have heard of in your life. Okay, I'll come to that later. I always say, when somebody asks me, what is social media? I always say, social media is people talking to people. So what's so great about it? We have always been talking. People have always been talking to other people. So why would it be called a social media now? So now you come to the understand social media with this sentence. Social media is a generic term for people talking to people online using tools and for their interactions. So now, whenever you hear about social media, take 3 keywords. One is it's online, it's done through a tool, and most important part of it is interactions. So that's people talking to people over the online, using a tool, and the interactions takes place is called social media. The tool alone is not called social media. They are called social media tools. So whenever people talk about it, I always say, if you want to know how-tos, like if you want to know how to use Facebook, how to use Twitter, how to use something else, there are hundreds of people who will teach you that. That is teaching a tool. That doesn't mean teaching social media. I always say, did we have fax expert? Did we have email expert? All that we learned. It's a tool, and according to our need, we learned the tool, how to use it. And somebody was talking about email etiquette today. So what I'm saying is, when you want to learn a tool, it's fine. You go to those workshops, you learn the tool. But that doesn't mean that you have understood social media. Because it is about how you talk, what you talk, to whom you talk. So the only thing is, it is a tool and it is done online. So you are not limited by geography or limited by time zones. You can talk. See, most of the time, in India, when we get up, China is already ahead. So it's probably afternoon for them. And then maybe you can interact with somebody, see what Chinese customers have done. After that, you carry on with your follow-up work in India. Then starts maybe Latin America. Then starts US. So you can see. So today, the companies, some of the companies who work globally have time slots for people coming in, interact with respective customers. So it is these tools allow you to interact all the time. And one more difference between social media, when I say social media is people talking to people, and traditional people talking to people, is in social media it gets amplified. See, today I'll tell you, I had shared this talk in Facebook. Somebody else had shared it again. So I have 600 friends, let's say. So I have shared it for visibility of 600 friends. When out of 600, 100 people share again, they have each one of them maybe 500 to 2000, whatever it is. So the whole thing is getting amplified. In traditional ways, we have never had such chances. And we can imagine the kind of amplification social media tools allow you to do. Next. So again, what does social media do? It empowers you. It empowers you in a way that you have not known in the past. Let's take personal. This is my favorite column, slide, whatever you call. Because when you talk about personal, you keep in touch with friends and families. Immediately I would say, after you got into Facebook, probably all your schoolmates, college mates, everybody came in there. And after years and years of gap, you are talking to them. I'll tell you personally, it's not that every day you talk to them, but you just see Facebook, somebody has landed in some town, somebody has gone to this conference, somebody is doing this, or your own kids. I always say, people are sending their kids abroad for studies, for job, everything. 20 years, 25 years, they have been at home together. They have never asked, what did you eat today? What did you do today? The moment they go abroad, they use, through the social media tool, they know what they ate for breakfast, what they ate for lunch, what did they do, where did they go, whom are they with, all your location tools and all that, everything is used. So it is, see, I'll tell you, even when telephone came, mobile came, elders used to resist. I'll not carry that. No, it has small buttons and I can't manage SMS and all that. But you know why elders started accepting and everybody is using? Because if a father's son or daughter has gone out, he hasn't come back from college or from office, there used to be a lot of anxiety. Now he can just call and then say, oh, the bus is delayed, there is a traffic problem, maybe 2 hours late. The anxiety is gone. So they have used it that way. Today you don't need to even call. You just open your Facebook, he has updated. Stuck in the traffic in Guindy and it will take another 3 hours to come to Katangulu, whatever. So that's the way it is used, to keep in touch, to reduce anxiety, to know everything is fine with family and friends. And keep yourself updated with news. I'll tell you, in the last 2 years or so, one of the nights I was working around 12, 12:30, 1 o'clock on my laptop, and I suddenly felt a shake. It's like this, as if somebody holding the chair and doing like this. In my lifetime, I have never had that shake. I immediately knew this is not some my chair squeaking because it was terrible. So immediately I thought of, I have heard and listened, read in the newspapers about earthquakes. I have never ever been anywhere closer to those earthquakes. So I felt, could it be this very mild? So I opened my Twitter account and put hashtag earthquake. And you would not believe me, at least there were 30 tweets saying that Anna Nagar felt it, Gindi felt it, this felt it, that felt it. So I immediately knew that there has been a mild tremor that day. So how do you get updated with news? How do you verify things in traditional ways? It's very difficult. News faster, much faster with social media tools. And it can be used very positively. So if there is an emergency, you can always use these tools to safeguard yourself. And then come to like-minded friends. See, in all our profession, what happens is we get into a shell. And these tools open you up. For example, the whole program today, this 24-hour conclave happened because of like-minded people coming together, putting together a show. And we had a session only with the speakers about social media. How can we use social media tools for the program? I was extremely surprised that so many like-minded speakers came together and the last 1 week have been using these tools in a very positive and brilliant way. So these are the personal sides to it. We can use it. Now you have clearly understood. You must be using, most of you must be using some of these. And on the professional side, improve your visibility. In business, we always say out of sight, out of mind. But these tools give you a wonderful way to be visible. For example, somebody has a blog, let's say, and there is a subscription button there. You enter your email, it's okay. Every time they post, you get an email. Whether you read it or not, at least you know the person has reminded you. So that visibility you get. I'm giving you only one example of one tool, but there are so many ways. As I said, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, anything you take, it helps your visibility consistently and open up new channels, conversations. Like I had put a post, somebody who is unknown to me has asked a question on that. Maybe now you are watching this, you will tweet at Bharat Krish and we will start a new conversation. It opens a whole new channel for all of us. And communicate about what you do. See, there is a slight caution that I would give. People do only that, communicate what they do. That's not what I mean here. Like you put, say, I always say, if you have an account and if you see 50 things that you had put and nobody has participated in that, nobody has commented on that, nobody has spoken back to you, that's very bad. That's not the communicate. But you have to tell people what you do so that they would know, and then, or you listen to other people and then communicate what you do. Suppose somebody needs something. See, I'll tell you, in the last 3 years, from my profile, what we call in social media terms avatar, from that profile photo to this meeting that I'm speaking to you, most of the things happen for me through social media tools. And reach new markets. See, gone are the days where, when I say reach new markets, not necessarily geographical. In marketing terms, we used to say, okay, we will go to Argentinian market, Chile market, or Brazil market, whatever it is, traditionally. Now it could be new. It could be a LinkedIn market. It could be a Facebook market, or it's a new community which is online, which becomes your target audience or a market, and collaborate with the industry. I come with a background of pharma industry. I follow what is happening in US, pharma and social media in India, what is happening in Europe, what are the guidelines there. I keep in touch with the industry professionals, and hence I'm ahead of what is happening. And once you are ahead and relate to the industry, collaborate with them, learn from them, ask them, and pass it on, you collaborate well, you can attain your thought leadership. What are the professional advantages? We saw there are personal uses of social media tools and professional uses of social media tools. I would say the content keeps working for you. For example, in a traditional print, if you are given your content, advertisement or whatever it is, or you have written a nice article that disappears, we say morning newspaper is evening's base paper, something like that. It disappears. But once you write a blog and put it online, maybe somebody is searching with some keywords and your blog appears there in the result. After 1 year, after you posted, it comes back to you. So it has much more longevity compared to other traditional tools. That is what I mean. Content keeps working for you. You are not doing anything. You have posted the content. It keeps working for you. And cost-effective way, of course, when I said email or an update or sending a message, these are all low-cost tools but keeps you in mind. See, at least when they want something, they can, see anybody, if I want to ask something, immediately whomever I met recently, whomever I saw recently, whomever I spoke to recently, that's what will come to my mind. With social media tools, you can always be on top of the mind with your customers. And reusable content. I'll tell you a very interesting example. I had a friend who is a insurance agent. He does motor vehicle insurance, okay? And we were chit-chatting one day about these social media tools. He said, yeah, but you know, my customers are different. My customers are different. You don't know about it. It doesn't work. Social media, they don't know anything about it. So we said, okay, as a social media guy, I wanted to take that as a challenge and see where does it apply. Suppose he says, let him prove me wrong, saying that, okay, let me accept that there is no place in his job or in his profession that social media tool can be used. So we said, okay, I gave him an interesting exercise. Couple of days I'll be with you. I'll just observe what you do. And then we will discuss about social media tools. So I was with him for a couple of days and I found a lot of time he is repeating the same thing. He is explaining the same thing. Somebody gives him a call. Maybe he has taken an insurance with him and he says, oh, I met with a small accident. What do I do now? What do I do to claim my insurance? That's most of the time you remember your insurance agent. Most of the time. Not even for renewal. For renewal they have to chase you. But if you have to claim, if you have a claim or even thinking of a claim, you chase them. So he explains. But I found highly repetitive. So we went through, then I came back, we sat, I said, suppose you put a blog and then say, when an accident happens, follow these steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? And then whenever somebody takes an insurance with you, just tell them this URL, let them take a printout and keep it with their RC book or whatever documents that they keep, or when they call you, you tell them that I'll send you a link, just read up there, or send them an email, or do a video and then say, hey look, you met with an accident, don't worry, I'm here and these are the steps to follow. Do a small video as if you talk. That's what you're doing every day. At least 10 claim calls you take and you are repeating. Suppose you do this, what happens is next time another friend, another agent, nothing to do with you, he is going to meet with an accident. This guy is going to say, look, 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 these are the steps you have to follow. This is what you do. And he is going to be, next renewal, I'll tell you, those guys will look for you rather than you go chase them. And this happened. This he had put in his website as FAQs, frequently asked questions, and he managed. And he told me, at least I don't know about the business part of it, at least he said his productivity, the time that he used to explain all these things has drastically reduced. What I'm saying is, it could be your product. Most of the time, when I advise on customer service, customer support guys, I tell them do a small screencast that they forgot to switch on, something like that. So if you have a small video screencasting tool, send it, let them do it. If it doesn't get solved, it's everything. I'll tell you another interesting incident. The same thing happened. One of the customer service guys has made some video and have sent it out. So for every day he used to get 10 calls and he said 3 or 4 calls used to be some silly thing which I don't need to go, but the customer is not listening. But after that, I think they greatly reduced this part of unproductive work. So what I'm relating it to is reusable content. You don't need to keep repeating it. If you use these tools, you can reuse those contents. For example, a lot of people when they ask me, should my company blog? I have a blog post called Should My Company Blog. I send it to them. Simple. Only if they don't understand, I have got to do that. They are very happy with it. See, because if I have to say, should your company blog all the time, I can't do anything new. So you can use these tools for reusing the content. And then even for sessions like this, I just have to go to my blog, see, pick up some points and put it on slides and I'm ready for the show. Because I have done this and I can reuse them. And enhances your brand image, of course. See, office who cannot, now today, the other day, somebody asked me to fax a paper. They accept only fax. It was very strange, but the whole 2 kilometers in and around my house, I could not find a single fax machine. It was very strange. So what I am saying is, the people who look at you, if you are still using old techniques, old thing, they will just move on and do business with somebody who can cater to them. Examples of social activism. Recently we saw Egypt uprising and India against corruption and all that. These revolts do not happen because of social media, but information travels much faster, and hence what used to take weeks and months are happening in hours and days. So now I am coming to all those you have heard of, the social media tool. There are many more, there are lots of them, but I will list a few. Blogs, what do? They give you a presence on the web. As I said, once you post it, people can find you much later. Wikis, I'll tell you, we have experimented with it, and it optimizes business process. In some of the companies where we have advised wikis, it reduced their email greatly, from 700 emails to 70 emails, from 700 emails to 50 emails, something like that. So it optimized business process. And social networks, what I have put, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, which you all know, gives you an opportunity to interact with your customers. People always ask me, all this is fine, but is it just a hype? Because everybody is using, I also have to use it? No. Because if you read research reports, they say that in the business world, a lot of people were logging onto their email the first thing, and they were visiting their email throughout their business process. Today, they visit social networks much ahead of email. Even for me, I used to open my personal email and see if there are any messages. Today I open my Facebook and see if there are any messages, or another tool. So what I am saying is, definitely it's not a hype, and you can collaborate with team members, partners, clients. I take this route. First do it within yourself, with your team members, and then move it to your partners, then to clients. Don't come the other way, because external learning is always very costly. So in a nutshell, we have come to the last slide. So we will, in a nutshell, from this session, take these lessons. One is, whenever you hear social media, remember it is only a set of tools for online interaction. 3 keywords: online, tools, and interactions. These three, all three are very, very important. And social media accelerates and eases the utilization of word of mouth communication. If you have sold a good product, people will tell. Now they will not tell to 1, they will tell to 100, lakhs, crores, whatever it is. That is how it eases. Also, it's easy for me to pluck out your URL, send it to a friend, rather than call him and 10 minutes tell how great you are. That he can go and find out. And if you want to be part of the network era, I'll put this in one. People ask me, what is the ROI of social media, return on investment? I say that your business will exist in future is a good return on investment. Otherwise, you will get wiped out. Thank you for the session. Thank you very much. And for all those who stayed with me online, thank you very much. See you soon. Ciao.
Request Mr. Krish to please stay back on stage. I kindly request Group Captain Vijay Kumar to please step forward and present the memento. That was a very interesting, very insightful session on social media.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Krish.
Thank you.
Great session.